pretty sure he was sent back by Chen. They'll at least find one, as well as these creeps. So they clean up the Chen army. And the Tempest Double helps out for SCCC. And actually, they might have found another one. Dogfight's getting low. He's going to drop, not to neutrals. And it's a double kill here for Mugi. So 2 more kills go their way. And Nuvi starting to really extend this lead up at 3,000 net worth. And for SCCC, he went to the Boots to Travel first before he went for the Maelstrom. Not a bad choice overall. But again, the farming's going to grow exponentially once he gets that Maelstrom, especially with the Tempest Double. He's just able to push out and farm so well. And with the Boots to Travel, he's able to send the Tempest Double into another lane and farm in 2 spots at once. In Roche. In July comes on over. There's the Blink. Avalanche. Will they get the kill? Not yet. They steal the dome. Penance comes through. They kill off SCCC. In July will get the kill and get credit for taking away that 6-kill streak. But while this is happening, Nubi are in Roche, and Mugi is going to be able to pick up the Aegis. Now they get themselves the nice Pit of Malice. The Yules comes through from the SF, but the ulti comes out from Faith. They'll get themselves one, and the send back again, this time onto the SF. It's the Yules that keeps him alive, and they get the nice send back with that. Now you take a look over at Miracle, trying to run away from this Supernova, way far enough away. But here comes Mugi. There's the Blink with the Dragon Tail, and now Miracle in a little bit of trouble. Into the trees, but no way to stop this TP. He's able to walk away and TP out. So 12-9, they get the kill on the Chen. My Newbie, after losing that Arc Warden, do still have themselves that Aegis. Don't get as many kills as they might have really hoped for. Malice comes out on the taunting Rubik. Not the play when you're in a little bit of trouble. And the Sunray comes through. SCCC is here as well as KP. They'll get the kill. You steal Firestorm, but it's immediately gone. And it's another kill coming the way of Newbie. KP. He's sitting 2-1-1. His farm's been quite nice. And in July gets the kill on the Witch Doctor over bottom. And meanwhile, there's the Requiem from Sakata. But I don't know if that's going to help him get anything. There's the Yules. The Death Requiem doesn't find a kill either. But here comes In July. He's going to look for the Blink as well as the Avalanche Toss, but the Sunray finds him. So no Blink for Tiny. And coming over will be KP. There's the Yules into the Pit of Malice, tossing him away, but SCCC is here. Won't be able to find this kill, but are able to push him back, save everybody else, and Newbie with another couple of kills after losing their Witch Doctor bottom. Arc Warden and the Immune Owner next. Just about has enough for that Hyperstone. KP into the pipe. Mugi with the BKB. For the side of IG Vitality, they're looking for the Lincoln Sphere out on Miracle. But they're just not going to find it yet. They're not going to find anything from Miracle just yet until he gets this E-Blade. Angel Eye killed off. For some reason, he's in their jungle. Really frustrated at myself. Should not be missing this many kills. Super on the high ground. SCCC his remnant is over towards top, and you take a look, and there's the kill over on the Super. They get themselves one. They look for more. They won't find it. It's that Tempest Double that helps to get the kill from SCCC. And they get themselves the Tiny over in the bottom shrine area of their end of the map, and then they also get the kill on a Super, so Chen is gone. And they're just continuing to find these pickoffs on the side of New B and slow down the farm of IG Vitality and cutting off this map as well. They're pushing into the Tier 2 on a couple of these lanes. The Tier 1 getting pushed over bottom. top. 4 heroes here. Let's take a look as they continue to push with the Firestorm. And this will be the tier 1 drop. Or the tier 2 dropping, excuse me. They take that tier 2. Meanwhile, IG Vitality on the opposite side of the map. Super comes through. The Pit of Malice is going to be used. Dogfights is in. And they're going to go for the tier 3. They're going to force a fight out of IGV. Stealing that Elder Dragon form will be Dogfights. Let's see what they're able to do with this. This movie with the blink on forward. They're trying to get this Chen with this nice Dragon Tail, but see if they have the damage for it. They finally clean up Super. There's the Supernova. Nothing really getting accomplished by IGV as the Yules is out on the SF into the Pit of Malice. They have the Sunray on top of this SF. Down goes Sakata. Down 57 seconds, immediately buying back. And this is a problem for IGV. They've lost the tier 3. They're going to lose more on the back lines. They've got in July, Blink, Avalanche, Toss. He's trying to find something, but it's not going to be enough just yet. SCC is going to drop, and so will Mugi. 2 die on the side of Newbie, and they're chasing for more. They're looking for Faith. The Pit of Malice is going to be dropped, but there's the Yules. That'll stop the TP from Faith. And the raises, the shots, the kills. Sakata gets himself a double kill, cleaning up a couple of the heroes here on Newbie. So 18-13. 6,000 net worth lead for Newbie. They take the tier 3 over top. And bottom, they're going to look for the kill on Kaka. In July is here. And they've also got Dogfight, so there's the telekinesis. Yules comes out, no Supernova. There's the Icarus dive away. Kaka somehow survives this for now. They come on over with the stolen Pit of Malice. That's going to lock up SCC. They're trying to find something. There's the Yules from KP, and now they've got the Pit of Malice to lock him in. Mugi comes over. He's got the Dragon Tail. In July in a little bit of trouble as the chase is on. And now they'll be able to get the kill. If he doesn't get that regen rune, and with the Breathe Fire, they'll finish him off. And down he goes. Newbie with the pickoff on Tiny. Over top, Kaka looking to defend. Blink Yules is available. There's the Ensnare coming through from the Dark Troll Summoner. That is taken from the Chen. And it will send back this SF. So Sakata out of harm's way. Super backing off. He wants to TP out as well. Newbie not going to find anything as the side of IGV retreat. Let's take a look. E-Blade close for this Morphling. 1,200 gold away from picking up the Eagle Song to finish off the E-Blade. Tempest double, just continuing to get so much farm for SCC. Top of the net worth by 3,000 gold, has the Mjolnir finished off. Going into the Bloodthorn next. And IGV just trying to hold their time, trying to get the E-Blade, trying to get Miracle enough farm. And it just doesn't seem like it's enough, honestly. Finding themselves 8,000 net worth behind. Sakata has Blink Yules BKB. And that's a 10-second BKB at that. So maybe they take a team fight. Maybe they can go and look over towards the Roche pit when this Aegis is back. Or when this Roche is back up in a couple of minutes. That would have to be the spot where they try to turn this game around. Would be by the Roche pit to grab the Aegis. As well as the cheese. They need to win a fight against Newbie. Without winning a fight, they're just not going to win the game. And anything close is not going to go that well for them either. And now the Dragon Tail, that's going to come through onto the Chen. He's onto the high ground. They'll take themselves the first kill, and that's a pickoff. A big one at that. To kill off Super, they look at Dogfights. You're trying to get away. The Pit of Malice just gets out in between these two trees. No vision for the side of Newbie, and they actually end up getting the Rubik away. Smoke comes through. IG Vitality, they're going to still look to make something happen. And there's the blink. Avalanche toss with the pivot of Mouse. Going to be dropped down. SCCC in a little bit of trouble. And now the Requiem is going to fly through from Sakata. They'll get those SCCC low with the raises coming out, but it's not going to be enough. In July, he's going to get quite low as well as the Supernova's in deep. But it's in a little bit over his head, and he'll be killed off. That's going to be one dead on the side of Newbie. They try to get the kill on In July. He's sent back by Chen, saved by Chen, and nobody dead on IGV. Perfectly played by this Radiant side. So 20-14 in favor of Newbie. Again, they still hold an 8,000 net worth lead. A minute, 10 seconds till this Roche is back up. IG Vitality holding and buying their time right now, waiting to get this next Aegis and Cheese. They finally have the E-Blade here for Morphling. We'll see if Miracle's going to be able to do anything with this E-Blade on the Morphling. Again, you're going up against an Arc Warden that is so farmed, and SF as well as the Morphling just don't hold up to that. BKB next on Miracle. We'll be able to see if he could find that farm. If they could get a couple of kills here, a couple of pickoffs, boost up their net worth, get those next couple of items, IGV bring themselves right back into it. But that is a tough thing to plan for if you're IGV. You can't just think you're going to get pickups. They might get one on Kaka if he's not too careful. They actually blink away from him, not knowing where the rest of the team is. Dire Tower goes down. IGV over towards bottom. They've got 4 heroes here towards bottom. Maybe looking to wrap around again on Newbie, trying to take a fight. Last time they got the kill on the Phoenix with the ambitious Supernova. That was the only reason they really did get a kill in the smoke. Used by Newbie, but it's immediately broken, and now they're in a little bit of trouble. Coming around the back is going to be IGV. They find themselves a couple of these heroes on the side of Newbie with the blink. Avalanche toss, that's going to come on through. They'll get the kill immediately on the Witch Doctor. BKB pop by Sakata with the raises coming through. They've got the Sunray from Kaka. Newbie trying to turn this around as In July is going to get a little bit low. SCCC is trying to do as much damage as he can with the Requiem on top of SCCC. He'll get the kill. That's going to be 2 dead. Now they look for the Dark Rift to get out of here, but Newbie in a little bit of trouble. The Yules is out, and he will bring the rest of his team back home. So with that, however, IGV, they find this Roshan. Aegis and Cheese is going to be theirs, and they're starting to pull out of this 10,000 net worth deficit and bring this game back. So they'll be able to push. They have the Aegis here on the Morphling. Cheese is on the SF. Sent back to base. He'll TP back into the fight in just a moment. Tier 2, look at how fast it goes down, and luckily enough for Newbie, they get backdoor protection. Arc Warden still dead for 20 more seconds.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Not going to be able to force the buyback, but you see the pushing potential from the side of IGV. Again, Newbie is qualified or invited to this tournament. They just have to worry about staying in the top league for DPL, as it is starting to mean more and more. As we see MDL, the last 2 tournaments have given out invites or spots to their tournaments to the winners of DPL. Avalanche toss onto the Phoenix. They'll get the kill. Fadebolt comes in, as well as the telekinesis from Dogfights. And they clean up Kaka, down for 53 seconds. Another pickoff in the favor of IGV. So 20-17, 4,000 net worth lead now, and it is getting smaller and smaller. As you take a look, it was at one point a 10,000 net worth lead for them, and the experience actually in favor of IGV. They also was close to 100% win rate. I don't understand that. No game of Dota is really that close to over until the Ancient drops. The BKB picked up by SCCC. IGV wrapping around. They find Faith. This should be an easy kill. It will be. E-Blade. Miracle. He is left liquid for this. So now 3,000. Pulling it back. Ooh, Kaka in a bad spot, but KP's here. There's the Pit of Malice with the Avalanche toss. Now they've got the SCCC Tempest double coming through. In July in a little bit of trouble as the Sunray comes on out, but there's the Yules coming through. Miracle trying to make something happen, and as he's now turned into this Underlord, he's getting a little bit low. The E-Blade thrown into SCCC, he's popping that BKB, but now he's at about half health. The Supernova comes on through from Kaka, and now this Morphling in so much trouble. There's the Dome on top. The Aegis has been popped, but there's the Blink on through. From this Cicada, Shadow Fiend get the Yules onto the Arc Warden. They'll get the kill with the Requiem and the raises. That's going to kill off one. But again, Morphling down for the count, and they're taking out two on the side of IG Vitality. The cheese is eaten by Cicada, trying to get the kill on Mugi. In July is here trying to clean up this Dragonite, but the Armor Toggles are just too good. There's the ulti from Faithful. Take out a third. Cicada is gone, and now they look for In July. Here's the Pit of Malice to continue in a chase with the Sunray. KP with a chase. The Avalanche is going to stun him up. They look for the Breathe Fire kill, but it's not there just yet with the Urn. The Firestorm, they'll get the kill. 4 die on the side of IGV. Newbie come out ahead, and they lose the Arc Warden, but it's a 4-for-1 in their favor. Everything was starting to go right for IGV, but now Newbie are finally on the winning side of a team fight. First one in about the last 10 minutes. IGV slowed down for the time being, as they were able to handle not only one life from this Morphling, but 2 with that Aegis. So 24-19, 5,000 net worth lead for Newbie. Take a look at their item progression. SCCC again going for that Bloodthorn. He's got that Mjolnir finished off. KP, he's here with the Shiva's Guard as well as the Pipe Yules, and the Yules has been essential, honestly, to him able to get the Dark Rift out if he does find himself in a little bit of trouble. The BKB down to 7 seconds for Dragonite, and actually, speaking about BKBs, the BKB for Arc Warden is down to 9. That was the 10-second BKB in that fight. For the side of IG Vitality, Cicada's been doing a pretty good job with the Blink Yules Requiem. As we take a look at his items, his BKB's down to 7 as well, getting a little bit low, and then Morphling is 10. He just picked that up, so we'll have to see what IGV can do to still try to pull their way back into it. Now down again about 8,000 net worth. Double damage would be quite nice. They are smoked up. They're going to look to keep the pressure on. They have not let their foot off the gas, and they've been down a lot in this game.
Radiant are scanning.
SCCC, they smoke up. Newbie, let's see what they can do. Over mid, there's the SF, there's the Icarus Dive, the Lincoln's popped, BKB immediately used, but now in the backlines of this fight, they've got the BKB, that's going to be popped by Miracle as well as In July. They're looking for the kill, they've already killed off SCCC with a first kill used by Miracle. They'll go after Mugi as well as KP, but In July, he's got the toss, that's going to be up. The Supernova on the side of this fight, they need to back away so they don't get stunned up. The Pit of Malice is there, but it's not going to lock up anything. That might even be a Pit of Malice from Dogfights. He's got the Firestorm for now on the backlines of this fight. We take a look at Cicada. He's going to get low. The Sunray just doing too much. They'll get the kill. They'll take out 1. They'll take out 2. They're going to lose In July, but they'll lose Mugi as well. Miracle trying to get himself well enough to get themselves a couple more kills and maybe the win for the side of IGV. Miracle low, but he did turn into Underlord to help get that kill to take out KP. 7 times kill streak is going to be gone with this. Nice telekinesis as well as the waveform E-Blade. They'll get the kill. 4 dead on the side of Newbie and IGV. They will send Morphling back to base. The buyback's going to be there from KP, and it's a 4-for-2 trade heavily in the favor of IGV. BKB's around the horn, and they look good from IGV. Unfortunately, they lose Cicada pretty quickly into that fight. In July, did quite a bit with the Avalanche toss, but just not doing enough. It's really down to Miracle here on the Morphling. Roche timer down to about 1:20. Hex here for Kaka. Ooh. SCCC's been cleaned out of these fights a couple times. Ooh, Morphling coming over. That's just the Tempest double. But it's 180 gold and 180 gold. is 180 gold. Always nice. Especially with the Scotty getting built by Morphling next. So 26 to 23, 4,000 net worth lead for Newbie. Heart next for Dragonite. Right. Over mid, I think they're setting up maybe for another smoke. They don't actually have it. They might be setting up just for a gank instead. Chen does have that ag, so he's got ancient creeps with him now. Let's see. There's the TP. That is Avalanche Toss to clean up that creep wave. Enjoy just showing himself. Super Miracle sit in the jungle of Newbie. Creeps over bottom. They're going to push in. Cicada goes back with the raises. Should be able to clean up these creeps. Push back these creeps and save this tier 3. Doesn't want to let it go down for free. They want to make sure that everything is really about equivalent for themselves when taking a fight against him. If you have the creep wave pushing in, you're at risk of SCCC really coming in and cleaning up a tower, and that's the last thing you want at the moment, because you already lost your tier 3s, and surprisingly, you haven't lost your shrines. So let's take a look. Aegis, or Roche, back up in a minute 30. Both teams are going to end up posturing around the Roche pit, especially Newbie, who are feeling themselves losing these fights the last 4 out of 5 times. So they smoke up. They're going to try and make an aggressive play over on IGV, but I think they're just going to find Angel. There's going to be the blink on forward with the Lotus Orb. It's stunned up. This is going to be the DK thrown up, and now Mugi in a lot of trouble. The damage coming out from Miracle with the BKBs popping around the horn. Now they look for more. Mugi trying to get away as he's got the Requiem getting thrown at him from Cicada. They'll get the raises. That's going to come through. They'll take out Faith. They'll look to get themselves the kill on Mugi still. He's behind enemy lines, behind the Supernova that's keeping him alive. Only one down is IGV. Take just one, and the Dark Rift gets out the rest. But IGV, they smell blood in the water, and that's exactly what they want. They want to find more. They want to keep the pressure on, posture around the Roche pit until Roche comes up, and get that Aegis and Cheesy. Take a look over mid. Miracle pushing in the mid tier 3, looking to make something happen. Newbie's here, just trying to defend without Faith so far. And let's see if they're able to do so. Tempest double over bottom, trying to push in, get a tier 3 over bottom as well. So they push in creep wave into the tier 3, and they'll go into the Roche pit, which is up in 15 seconds. They are going to want to keep a creep here. Kaka's so farmed. 90 gold a minute, I guess it's enough, because he's about to have Hex and Nullifier. But, oh, Blink Toss, not going to hit on Kaka. There's the Sunray. Low on mana is in July. You don't want to go in too deep. The Raise, maybe just trying to deter Newbie. Now back up is the Roshan. Next team to win a fight will get the Roche, but trying to sneak it out will be IGV. So fast, we'll get it. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard. Now the Avalanche comes out on an Icarus diving. Kaka, they'll take him out immediately with a waveform coming through from Miracle. They look over as the E-Blade that's going to hit onto this KP Underward. They throw the Requiem, but the Eul's is going to save his life, and now they've got the Refresher Shard. They're going to look for another Requiem. There's the toss. They'll get the kill. It's a double kill for Miracle. They look over at Faith. That's going to be the waveform onto the low ground. They'll take out a third. There's no Underward for 104 seconds. He had used his buyback earlier, and now he's gone for so long. Supernova is going to come out. Cicada just trying to get the kill. I don't think he has the hits in time. He's now stunned up. Kaka has the Icarus dive to get away and will go into the trees, but no TP available to him. So the push is on. They're down 2 heroes on Newbie. They might be able to force the buyback from Faith. They should be able to the second they start touching the tier 3. He doesn't have that ulti, so he's not worth too much, but at least the cask might give him a chance to win this team fight. Miracle now with IGV are up 1,000 net worth for the first time, and they start hitting into this tier 3, but SCCC keeping it alive with that dome. That magnetic field is enough to keep it alive for now. Rage is still available. No more refresh chart deep in the enemy lines. They've got themselves the Requiem. That's going to come through on the Telekinesis Phoenix. They're going to get themselves one. He's got no buyback. They look over at Mugi with the BKB. Mugi trying to run away into the base as Sakata continuing to move on forward. There's the Evil with the Rage. They'll get the kill. Now they look over at S-Triple-C, the only one alive, and they'll look at the Tempest Double. They won't get the kill just yet. Now Mugi with the buyback. He's going to continue to move on forward onto the side of IGV, who are getting really low with the Mjolnir just striking all these heroes who are nearby in the base really deep. They haven't actually taken a tier 3 just yet, but they've linked on forward. They'll take the kill. They'll get the kill, and Newbie! Call GG! IGV from 10,000 net worth down. Bring it back and win game 1 over this Newbie team. IGV impressing heavily. Look at them go. That was absolutely amazing. It looked like they were going to lose that game so early, but Miracle is able to bring it back. Once he got that E-Blade, it was online time for him. He got the Scotty next, and he was unstoppable from that point. 12-1-9, obvious MVP of this game. Sakata 8-7-12. He did good towards the second half of this game, and in July, with the initiation, was amazing. They were able to do so much, and Chen with the saves. Everything went well for IGV once Miracle got that E-Blade. It was a tough start, and they almost lost the game, but they were able to pull it back from Newbie, one of the top teams in the world, and they pull it back. And it's very well done from IG Vitality to take this game 1 in this set of 2. So that's it for this first game. We've got one more game today, and we will continue on forth with that in just a moment. Game 2 coming up next. Newbie, IG Vitality. I'm your caster, Bcop, at Bcop92 on Twitter. Follow me there to know when I'm casting, and thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back with some more Dota 2 Professional League Season 5 Top League 2018, not 2018, or not 2016. Don't get confused. And it's IGV against New V. When IGV up 1-0, they had Miracle Morphling, and it ended up working out for them after they picked up that E-Blade for Morphling. We take a look at the draft so far. Bounty Hunter Disruptor for IG Vitality, Gyrocopter Rubik for Newbie, and a little bit of surprise, a little bit of a last-second call. But we got ourselves a nice, amazing co-caster. I am joined here by Tsunami. He's ready to join me for this last game of the morning. What do you think of this draft? And also, how have you been?
I've been good. I've not really been able to pay too much attention to this whole thing. So let's just take me from the top. Okay, so this is a group stage for DPL. DPL, a storied league in Chinese Dota where basically at any given moment you see top teams duking it out because that's how competitive the Chinese scene is, that they all have to fight in group stages to get qualified. And then if they do qualify, or rather if they do make it through the group stage and then make it through the playoffs, then what do they get?
Top 3 teams are going to go to MDL this year. Last year's season, it was the winning team that went to MDL. The only thing that was sketchy about that last year was it was when playoffs started, they announced that the top team will get the call to MDL Macau. This year, they did it before the season started. Top 3 teams just get to go. 2 of the teams are already invited in this qualifier anyway. Both Newbie and Vici, I believe, are already in this next MDL tournament, but they're in it just to keep their spot at DPL top, which obviously now has importance. So
not only is it a qualifier, but just being a member of this league is important enough for these top teams to compete, even though they're already guaranteed a position in the major.
Yeah, it's almost like how if you win or come in like the top 3 of the UEFA, or come in the top 3 of like the Premier League, you go to the UEFA Champions League, or I think it's the Champions League, but it's, you know, like that, where you want to keep your spot in the league, but also qualify for something even bigger, which would be, in this case, MDL. It's kind of crazy. I like how they do it here.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I've always been...
And I've also been impressed with Newbie, because I know in some qualifiers, some of these leagues, Newbie has a tendency to, like... I don't really know if it's so much a trend in recent months, but like in the end of last year, kind of before TI7 maybe, Newbie had this history of kind of almost stealing spots from other Chinese teams and then kind of fizzling out when it comes to LAN times. And so initially, a lot of Chinese teams were kind of bitter at Newbie in that they were being the representatives, but oftentimes not doing justice to the scene. But that has since changed. Newbie is now consistently dominating in both international scenes and in the domestic scene. So in this league, so far, there hasn't been too much going on, but they 2-0'd Team Max, which maybe doesn't really count for too much, and then they split against LGD, and now they're looking to split against IGV. So what's happening? Is Newbie again falling back to their old habits? How are they dropping games against, well, I guess LGD is legitimate, but this IGV game, that was surprising.
I do think it has a little bit of play with the fact that they are already invited to the tournament. Maybe they don't have to give it their all. They just have to come in top 9, which is, as long as you don't come in last 2 places in your group, you're going to be okay. So like 3 or 4 points is going to confirm you that spot. So I feel like they're maybe just not taking it as seriously.
So if there was ever a place to try out Arc Warden, this is it? Is that what you're saying?
Basically, and DPL, in my opinion, is known for that, because it usually doesn't have this qualifier implications. It has more of a just duke it out.
It's a public scrim.
Yes, public scrims for a little bit of money. And
okay,
and this is a place to try some things out. And Newbie, we've seen them recently at LANs not perform maybe to the way they'd like, so this is a perfect opportunity to just try some lineups out.
5 seconds.
Yeah, both in terms of heroes and in terms of players. I see Miracle has made the jump, not from Liquid, but from Southeast Asia, in fact, and repping on IGV. Now, how much have you seen of him? Because I was a big fan of him back in Southeast Asia. I remember his Naga Siren was legendary. I always had, confidence in his core play, but in Southeast Asia, it's oftentimes difficult to stay on a roster that will, you know, stick around long enough to give you an opportunity to show up on LAN. And so I never really got to see Miracle on LAN, and I'm glad that he's made the leap to China. But how has he been doing thus far in your eyes?
Um, it's hard to really say just because last game looked really good. I know the game before that or the series before that was like hit or miss, but it's kind of that black situation where you're on a team where you don't speak the language. Because Miracle typed in chat when there was a pause that he didn't know how to say what the problem was in Chinese. So I assume there's a little bit of a language barrier there, which was kind of similar to how Ice Ice and Black played it. Black would talk to Ice, and Ice would tell the team, right? So I feel like maybe there's a little bit of communication troubles, but at the same time, there are definitely moments where they look really good. And it showed a little bit last game where they were behind, but they can tighten it up and they can still play really well.
Yeah, I mean, they have basically like the other four members of the team have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So when
together.
you have exactly, so when you have that kind of like anchor in place, I guess you're more willing to work with an import, and it's easier to adapt to something like that. Because I see a lot of these international rosters, they'll just start from scratch and they'll be like, okay, here's, maybe three of our players have played together with each other in the same region, and then we'll have like two other people who, maybe don't even speak the same language or something like that. Here you have some stability, and so that's why I was more confident in this import than some other Southeast Asian imports that have gone to China and not been quite as successful.
It was definitely interesting to see Miracle get picked up by this team. IGV were struggling for sure last season. They were with Flyby and he was their carry, and he just was never able to really do enough. And there are guys in the carry role who, in the Chinese region, who probably could have taken over for Flyby, but they chose Miracle, and I feel like they chose him for a reason. And he's kind of shown that he plays kind of well to the IGV playstyle, which is very aggressive. He is quite nice at that, and he fits the bill. And it's nice to see, a Southeast Asia player come into the Chinese region and do decently well in such a tough region.
Unfortunately, though, for IGV, the bar is set at paparazzi's level, and there is going to be a lot of time before Miracle can prove himself to be at that capability. So this is, as you said, DPL is a great training ground, both in terms of trying out new rosters and trying out new, hero builds, hero team comps, stuff like that, but also it's a great proving ground for new players as well. Like KP, who might learn the hard way not to go for this bounty rune. No glimpse, static shock.
Quite low. Thunder Strike on him. How do you feel about Enigma in the off lane? Because we don't see him picked up so much, but when he's picked up, it feels as if like the black hole is so important that you don't want it on cooldown. You like that threat, but at the same time, if you miss it, it's almost that much worse.
Yeah, which is why whenever I do see Enigma these days, I like him being more utility based. Back in the day of offlane, Enigma used to be pretty much, maybe you'd stop off for a mechanism, but Blink Dagger would be very, very early on your, recipe list for what you're planning to build for the game. These days, I'm seeing like Greaves, Pipe, Helm of the Dominator even every once in a while, drums, all these utility items that allow you to 5-man with your team and just, as you said, keep the threat of the black hole active. It's not so much you need this clutch initiation, especially against this team. You got to deal with Tidehunter black hole. So I don't really think that KP is going to be that interested in getting a black hole. I mean, getting a Blink Dagger anytime soon. He's going to be more interested in counter initiation and just providing that sort of discouragement for a Tidehunter initiation himself.
It seems like the offlaners here are both big on the cooldowns. Ooh, rolling boulder over mid on his Cicada. Kaka trying to go in with the help of the Viper, but now they try to turn it around with Super here as well as Dogfights. The Thunderstrike on Kaka. That's Triple C still just sitting here in the mid lane, ready to go on the Death Prophet if maybe one more was come this way. But ooh, Earth Spirit again. Kaka taking a little bit of damage from Dogfights. And also, by the way, speaking of KP, I'm pretty sure I remember him playing for eHome Keen, who are now Keen Gaming Luminous. I guess they broke off, but he grew through the DPL and Chinese region as well until he finally hit Newbie. It's really an impressive place for a lot of players to grow, and they do have that ability to hit those tier 1 teams.
Yeah, and technically he's a Southeast Asian import as well, coming from Australia. So these both in this league, as now Faith in the top lane might be in a little bit of trouble, but I think he's going to get out. Both these academy teams and these leagues are so good at fostering talent in the Chinese scene. The academy teams, because like you allow someone to come in and not have to be like totally overwhelmed with like being thrown into a tier 1 team. As great as that sounds, a lot of times you're out of your depths as a new player or a newcomer to that level of competition. And so these academy teams allow you to grow in a less competitive environment and a more, more people at your skill level. And then if you prove to be talented, then you'll be picked up by a tier 1 team, as KP did.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys who play on those academy teams are really quite young, and they're just kind of getting into the competitive scene, and you see these players just grow and grow. Like IGV, their lineup, I'm pretty sure is quite young, and they also, back a year or two ago, and really a year ago when they were really hitting their stride, I think these guys are like 19, 20. Like, that's crazy to be that young and put that much pressure, and I feel like you learn to deal with that pressure in a competitive scene like China, and it really is just absolutely so crazy. Is over towards the top hand of this river. They don't get the kill on Dogfights just yet, but with the dust, one more shot will come in, and Kaka will clean up Dogfights. So first,
he has a TP scroll, but Bounty Hunter's back up. Kaka, he can roll out. He's gonna die.
Yeah, Thunderstrike hits him and cleans him up, evens the game up at 1, but first blood for the side of Newbie.
And man, what would have been good is if just 1-1 change has come into factor. Bounty Hunter immediately bobbed back and TP to that shrine. That's the kind of snap reactions and snap adaptations I want to see to these bi-weekly patches.
He got the Gush. They've got Dogfights here. He doesn't actually have the Janata. There's Rocket Barrage again, and In July really can't stand and trade with that. They push back Mugi, but again, this forces out some regen from In July. It's just, hold that a second as the Rolling Boulder comes out, as well as the Telekinesis on Dogfights. Rocket Barrage looking just for the kill. They've got the dust. They should be able to get this. Janata out on Akaka, and one more shot should clean up Dogfights, and there it is from Mugi.
He goes down, but at least he was able to take down the Sentry Ward, so he can come back to the top lane if he wants, as none of the other supports have any other backup Sentry Wards. And Super and Kaka trade bounty runes, but Kaka kicks away the Tidehunter.
He gets glimpsed on back. There's the Thunderstrike. Should have the kill. Oh, Rolling Boulder away, but wisely from Super to walk in front, stopping the Rolling Boulder from getting out. And they do clean him up.
And what a value haste rune.
I also think a couple of these guys from New View played on like CDC Avenger and all that. Or like
that would have to be, that's quite a ways back then, because I know KP was the last introduction to this newbie roster. But yeah, I mean, like, SCCC is also quite young.
He played for
I guess it was at the end of his military service, is maybe too young to die also.
Mid. There's the Crypt Swarm as Triple C trying to run away with the Thunderstrike on him. One more shot will do it, but Thunderstrike not enough, as he's got that salve, heals up, and stays alive. Meanwhile, the Monkey King, Miracle, trying to run away from Kaka into the trees, and with that, he's able to salve up, stay in lane, and doesn't get the full duration of the heal, but is quite nice in terms of health now. So yeah, I think SCCC was that newbie young roster, which was decent for a long time, and then they finally moved that roster over to the main roster with a little bit of help from some other guys. Boulder smash to the right. Kaka uncharacteristically missing that boulder smash, and now Miracle just gonna dive this tier 1. He's got 2 extra friends here just to help him out, and the glimpse maybe keeps Kaka alive for a little bit longer, and actually keeps him alive in general.
Oh. Say hello to the Boundless Strike. Gets a kill. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter was also able to get a kill on the Tidehunter, and that's arguably more valuable. Tidehunter is level 4, almost level 5, whereas Earthspear's just been roaming around, just barely hit level 3.
Even at 3 right now. With this Miracle Monkey King, he's up against the Enigma, but he's doing a pretty good job. Already level 6, 43 and 6, leading the CS chart by miles. It's not too far ahead of the Gyrocopter, but can he, the way Gyrocopter does, can he snowball and have a good game if he just gets that early start in a couple of pickoffs?
It'll be probably more farm-oriented. I wouldn't be surprised if Monkey King goes for like a Battle Fury this game. One position, Monkey King has kind of fallen out of favor, but maybe if he can get some kills up top.
In July is actually going to get run down by Faith and Mugi, but with the help of this Miracle Monkey King, they throw the Boundless Strike at Mugi, proc the Jingu Mastery, excuse me. And now with
he might
Primal
finish Mugi.
Spring, they'll go forward Mugi to get those shots in with Thunder Strike, and the Jingu Mastery hits. In July gets the kill. They'll kill off the Gyrocopter, which is very important for the side of IG Vitality, and more specifically, Miracle to extend his net worth lead.
Man, super well played by Miracle. Dude only has brown boots, whereas Gyrocopter has full phase boots. He went for the Boundless Strike on the 3rd Jingu Mastery hit because he knew that he was about to get stunned from the landing Tidehunter telekinesis, so he slowed down Gyrocopter ever so slowly. Gyro was forced to call down. Miracle stayed out of the call down, and then Primal sprung on the only exit route out of that jungle path and gets a kill. What a early rotation from a one-position Monkey King. See, so that's one of the reasons why I said like one-position Monkey King isn't too common, because you have to do stuff like this. He's basically turned almost roaming because now the Bounty Hunter is basically taken over the bot lane, and Miracle's the one looking for kills.
I think they actually spotted the ward drop here with this Sentry ward over mid, and the Viper immediately backs off. They send Super over towards top as well as Miracle. But yeah, I've seen Monkey Kings previously in DPL. It's actually been getting picked up a decent amount, and he's able to rotate so well, especially with the Primal Spring. And there it is, Primal Spring with the glimpse. They actually get the nice boulder smash out, but it's not enough to keep him alive with the double damage as well as the Boundless Strike. Oh my god, he's just getting so much health back. He'll kill off Kaka as well. Look over for Faith. One more shot will get the kill, and Super cleans him up. 3 die over top. Very nicely done by IGV.
Man, what language barrier? I don't see any language barrier. He was preemptively channeling the Primal Spring on the spot that he knew the Disruptor was going to glimpse the Gyro to. I was like, is he just going to go for this last hit on the range creep? But no, the glimpse came through. He landed on top of the Gyrocopter, DD Rune in tow, and quick succession of kills. Miracle doing a lot with just brown boots. Still, he hasn't gotten anything else, really.
Yeah, he is all over the map. And already he's 2-0-3 involved in 5 of the 7 kills. Just grabbing himself a good chunk of farm, 700 gold in front of this Gyrocopter.
Now Mugi feels the pressure. He's just like, well, I gotta match this pace then. I'm level 6, I've got call down, I've got phase boots. Let's try to get a kill on someone mid. But right now, everyone on IGV is headed into the jungle, and Super and Cicada are smoked up looking for a kill on this Enigma.
Miracle over mid with the Boundless Strike.
Oh, top dogfights is going to go down.
Kill off the Bounty Hunter, but now over bottom, it's KP who's got to be careful because
he's got Ravage.
over his Super, they've got the Glimpse and don't have the Static Storm, but with the Exorcism, they don't even need the Ravage. They'll get the kill and clean up this Enigma. Easily done by IG Vitality, who are really kind of running over Newbie at the moment.
Yeah, it's all heroes running over. In fact, Bounty Hunter, the hero that you would imagine to be the most involved in these sorts of situations, has kind of been taking a backseat. Dogfights is just kind of playing decoy a lot of the times, and looks like both teams are going to trade. IG Vitality do have the option to go top, as they still do have Ravage, but level 6 Exorcism doesn't really do the most damage, and it looks like Newbie are going to rotate first, and no tower is going to be claimed, but a full Exorcism duration was adequately spent.
Yeah, that Exorcism mainly used for
Mid
the
lane,
Enigma
Black
kill.
Hole.
Black hole over mid, as well as the Ravage coming out. The balance strike, that's going to hit on one. They'll take out KP. They'll look for Kaka, trying to get in front of that rolling boulder, but with a nice glimpse, Super will help in July get the kill, and it's now 10-4 in favor of IG Vitality. On top of which, Dogfights, I think he got that 10-minute Toma knowledge, and now he's level 6 and has the track. That's just going to boost their net worth up immensely, especially with how Miracle's kind of been going all over the map. Mid lane, Cicada, he's going to end up dropping. Moving on forward is going to be in July. Faith getting very low. He'll end up surviving just barely. SCCC continuing to go in on the Disruptor. Meanwhile, Miracle gets the kill on Faith off camera, but SCCC and in July still just trading blows. Miracle's come over and shown up, and now he's looking for the Wukong's command, maybe trying to draw in Newbie a little bit further than they'd like to go, and they glimpse back the gyrocopter.
This glimpse, I've never seen disruptors like be able to get so many levels so effortlessly. Super, it's just continuously at the right spot at the right time, and it's really hard with low levels of glimpse. Like, he's making it look like a level 4 glimpse always, but he only just now got the 3rd point in it. He's been getting kills all over the place. The mid lane ends up getting the kill on Cicada, but with the amount of pressure that Vitality's been given, I think that losing a death profit here and there is worth it, as long as Miracle continues to basically get unimpeded free farm.
Balance strike on the Eidolons, some quick farm right there. Let's take a look over at Newbie and what they've got. I mean, they're going for drums on Viper, and then Yasha is going to be the first big item here for Gyrocopter, and then Enigma going for the Midas. So they're really, I feel like, almost looking to go towards the later game, whereas IGV, with the pressure they're pushing on, they're just looking to farm up and go down the throats of Newbie.
Huh. Seems a bit disconnected, actually, because, like, the way that Viper and Gyrocopter are building makes me feel early game, almost. Like, you get the Yasha early on as a Gyrocopter if you want to farm. You have better options if you want to fight. You have better options if you want to farm. But then you also followed up with the potential drum on SCCC. That also means you want to fight early on. But then Enigma going for a Midas, like you said, implies late game. So it's possible that just like KP's getting it for the value. The talents on Enigma are always incredibly worthwhile, namely level 15, being able to choose between that 120 GPM or 15 cooldown reduction, which chances are he's going to go for the cooldown reduction if he's got the Midas. So Midas doesn't always necessarily mean farming for an Enigma, but I don't think that they can afford to go late game, because you're up against a bounty hunter, and you're up against a team that can very easily pick up track kills with the bounty hunter.
Oh, they actually get the stun thanks to the Midnight Pulse, and they should be able to get the kill on a Miracle. He's got nowhere to really go. The balance strike comes out, but it's just not doing anything. The rest of his team will use Exorcism to push this top tier 2. Creeps are coming in, but now the rotations fly out from Newbie. Got SCCC starting it off. They'll look for possibly a kill on In July if they're lucky enough. Meanwhile, the Static Storm doesn't land on Akaka. Dogfights as well as this Disruptor trying to make work of Kaka, who's got the track on him. The Rolling Boulder comes on over. They'll take out Super, and Dogfights is taken out by the neutral creep, but still 3 kills for Newbie.
That Static Storm not connecting on Kaka is a huge error. They should have easily been able to take that fight, because Kaka being eliminated means that the other 2 of your supports can converge in, and Glimpse wasn't used, so you'll have Glimpse to draw someone back to that top tier 2, but since they kind of botched the initiation on the Earth Spirit, then Tidehunter and Death Prophet were in a weird spot, because they were like, well, my Exorcism doesn't have that much time, and In July was like, well, I don't have a Blink Dagger either, so I can't jump in and ravage on these people, so Tidehunter and Death Prophet just have to leave these 2 supports to die, but yeah, uncharacteristic miss by Super.
And that actually puts Newbie ahead a little bit, and they're converging over top, maybe to go in July. Dogfights is here, but he's not spotting anything. They actually pass on In July, continue on further into this Radiant area. They find Super with the Geomagnetic Grip and the Boulder Smash. Kaka gets the easy kill.
Poor Miracle. He's got PTSD from that Midnight Pulse. Kaka went through, rolled in to see if there were any other trees that the Monkey King may have been sitting in, but there's a lot of tree cutting stuff to be concerned about. You've also got Telekinesis landing also, just in case, but Balance Strike misses on KP, and what was a very hot start from Miracle has slowed down dramatically, and he was working his way to that Battle Fury, but he's been looking for kills so much he hasn't gotten the chance to finish up this demon.
New V, they're starting to pull away with this, with the minus on Enigma and the early game items from Viper and Gyrocopter. Maybe we see them start to be the aggressors heavily early, or in the next couple of minutes.
As long as you know where Tidehunter is, that's the most important thing. You're allowed to be aggressive as long as you. Oh, well,
Mugi,
now you know where
track
Tidehunter
comes
is.
through, there's the call down, and they've got the silence. They'll get the kill on a Mugi. That's going to be the first track kill. Now they look over at Faith. July is trying to find a Ravage, a couple of Euros here, but the Geomagnetic Grip will stop that. They've got the Balance, or not the Balance Strike, the Boulder Smash to come on through. They'll kill off Faith. That's another track kill for them, and that should net them a good chunk of gold. And it does. 1,500.
1 5-hero track, 1 4-hero track. Yeah, that's why I'm not too concerned about Miracle spending some time looking for kills, because even though you don't have that farming item, the Battle Fury, you have the farming spell of track. Glimpse comes, but SCCC, I don't know where he... Oh, he just went back to the tier 2. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to claim a tower. Exorcism was spent trying to get those kills, which is, again, worth it. You've got a bounty hunter. Spending spells and cooldowns and time getting these kills is worth it as long as you're getting fat tracks.
There we go. Gyrocopter looking at the SNY into the BKB, which is usually the case. It's like SNY, BKB, and then there's one more item, and then Satanic Divine Rapier. I forget what the item is in between that. But that's usually been the standard build on Gyrocopter recently. Is over bottom, they'll find the Enigma, no black hole. They'll get the kill, another track kill. Meanwhile, Super found out in the jungle. So a 1-for-1 trade, but definitely in favor of IGV with the track. And it didn't count the Enigma one, which is great.
Sakata does not have a TP scroll available. The scan actually went on the south side of the side shop, and they're not going to catch him. Sakata lives to die another day.
Cyrus Courier is dead. Whoa.
That boulder smash.
Getting real close to taking out a Monkey King right there. That could have easily been a kill. But
I'm assuming Dogfight's got that snipe at the Dire Secret Shop, as now he's going in on Rubik. Oh, this is a duel for the ages.
Telekinesis and Dogfight's lifted up. He's got Janata in 4 seconds. Shadow Walk
He's got
available.
Shuriken.
And especially with the track, you could definitely Janata Shuriken toss and get the kill.
That's what I thought, but he respects the Gyrocopter rotation.
Now in July's got the Blink Dagger, so he'll be ready to blink in and Ravage. But there's the glimpse into the Kinetic Field Static Storm. They're thinking about going in. KP, I still feel like he doesn't know that in July has this Ravage to work with. Holding on to it, there's the BKB, and he will land it on a Miracle. I don't really quite understand holding on to the Ravage that long. I feel like the positioning from in July, or IGV, was really good for them. As they do get the kill on SCCC, Dogfights and Super fall to SCCC and Mugi. This is a fight that is not exactly going their way, but now the Ravage comes out. They finally kill off KP, but stolen by Faith. So if he tries to TP away, they should be able to get the kill. There's the silence, one more shot. The Ravage comes through, and they will find the kill on a Cicada. And that's going to inevitably lead to this kill on in July and a full team wipe for Newbie.
All right, that may have been a little bit of language barrier going off. So Miracle was more than willing to jump into the fight. He was sitting on top of the tree. He had a perfect position for a Wukong's command, and he was in on 5 of them. Got the balance strike kill immediately onto the Rubik, I mean, not onto the Rubik, on the Earth Spirit. And after that, you just need to wait for your Tidehunter to blink in. As you said, it didn't happen. It's possible that Injuli's Blink Dagger may have still been on a cooldown from whenever he jumped in on the Earth Spirit and got that vision for the Disruptor to glimpse. But whatever the case, Injuli was still backing up like crazy. Maybe they just saw the BKB completed on Enigma, and they're like, oh, geez, okay, well, now that we see this BKB, I don't want to fight anymore. But the memo did not get received by Miracle, who ended up going into the fight anyway. And then, I mean, your Death Prophet wasn't there, and it all just kind of fell to pieces for IGV after that.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
And that's really surprising because he was, even without the Blink Dagger, he was still positioned really well.
Right.
And it just seemed like they missed an opportunity. And now the glimpse onto the Rubik, they'll get the kill easily. Miracle gets it, as well as the track gold. IG Vitality looking decent, but not in the lead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that's due to the fact that in July and Death Prophet, the Cicada Death Prophet, just don't have as much farm as maybe they would have liked. Which is surprising.
Yeah, I think Cicada is the one who's probably suffering the most from this. He participated in both those track kills that were going on in the Dire jungle, but you have to spend exorcism for that, whereas Miracle, he doesn't really have to spend any expensive cooldowns, so he can go back to immediately farming. And, well, looks like Newbie wants to contest this Roche. They're fully aware that's happening.
Boulder Smash comes through, Ravage available in 15, so maybe IGV want to slow play this. Like, I understand Roche is a little bit low. If they could slow play this for 10 more seconds, get the nice Ravage through. They have tracks on a couple of these heroes, so they know where they are. Black Hole up in just about as much time as well. So this has got to be a perfect play. BKB is at 9 seconds. There's the rolling boulder. They find Miracle. It's going to be a problem, but the Ravage comes in on the entire side except for KP. Miracle is going to end up hitting the deck. Mugi, though, he's going to fall to Cicada. They'll get the buyback from Miracle, and backing off will be super. On the rest of this fight, you take a look. Cicada coming in. Faith has actually got that jump into the trees, and now KP will drop triple kill for Cicada. Faith in a lot of trouble as well. He's got track on him, and they'll take him out. Ultra kill for Cicada.
Miracle.
And Miracle gets the kill on SCCC. Full team wipe in favor of IGV.
Now that was a 7.11 buyback right there. Miracle immediately snap bought back. He knew he had the money for it. And as long as you kill a core, the new buybacks are absolutely worth it for a core. Miracle went in.
Kaka was trying to come in. Boundless strike. There's the Yules. No way he's picking up the Aegis, and no way he's surviving.
The man's the Aegis snatcher extraordinaire, so I don't fault him for going for that. He was exceptionally close. But yeah, Miracle straight up bought back and went to the Viper. And for a second, it almost looked like Viper may have gotten the upper hand, as Miracle was standing inside of the Nether Toxin, which means that his Jingu Mastery was broken, so he couldn't get it. But the amount of armor provided by the Wukong's command meant that he was able to survive it. And if you were able to pick up that kill, no gold penalty at all, it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Seeing all these cores buy back in what seems like suboptimal situations, but, you know, he got an Aegis. They've got a 4K net worth advantage. Looks like it worked out to me.
KP, he's going to be spotted, and wow, BKB forced out. That's going to be his 7-second BKB. The Midnight Pulse used onto these trees, hoping that he could find a Monkey King. But there's the glimpse. The BKB doesn't even help him. The Balance Strike is there with the track, though. Oh, Black Hole, but nope. He's killed off. Miracle might lose his life, and he did just buy back, but he's got the Aegis, so he's got to be very careful. You take a look over Mugi with the Rocket Barrage trying to clean up in July, who does not have this Ravage for another 30 seconds. Wukong's command is going to be thrown out. Miracle has to be very careful as the Viper strikes now onto him. Dogfights gets cleaned up by SCCC. You'll look over as they back off with the tracks on them. They just need to get Miracle out. The stolen Boundless Strike from Faith, and now the Fade Bolt homing missile. He's in a little bit of trouble. Into the trees, bouncing down. And he's got the regen, but he still has to get far enough away from the gyrocopter to make sure that he stays alive. And
they know the tree. Kaka's got rocks.
Homing missile again comes his way. Now they're jumping around even more in the back lines of this fight. They look over the Viper. SCCC, he's taken out one more time. As well as the fact that they're looking for Faith. They've got the Thunder Strike on him, as well as the Spirit Siphon, chasing Faith all the way down, and they will get another kill. Meanwhile, you take a look at Miracle, who's still alive somehow. Boundless Strike hits onto the Earth Spirit. Track on him as well. Kaka throws the Boulder Smash, trying to TP away, and actually finds his escape. But still, this is just so dreadful for Newbie, and that was Mugi not getting pulled back via the glimpse.
KP with another BKB charge spent for that. Yeah.
I didn't see who the glimpse was on. I just assumed it was Mugi, but it makes more sense as it was KP because it didn't happen in the BKB. He's the only one who has one.
Yeah. Well, Gyrocopter's just not completed his, but it's at 10 seconds still. They went for a fight inside the Dire Shrine area without the Death Prophet, and they went for it even when Death Prophet had Exorcism on cooldown. Thankfully, Monkey King is just able to survive for ages just by virtue of Wukong's commands and insane armor. So he's able to stick around in the fight long enough. Death Prophet comes in. Mama looks very intimidating, but she does not have the exorcism available. So they kind of drove Newbie down into their mid-tier 2 area. And then they were like, wait, why didn't we get exorcismed? We can just take this fight. So then the chase went the other way. It was like a Tom and Jerry situation. Ultimately, the chase went too long and exorcism finally came back. So Sakata was like, all right, you've chased my Monkey King for long enough. It's time for us to win the fight. And I saw Dogfights buy back for that. I don't know if that was just because he was just like, dude, I can buy back and I can get a whole bunch of track kills and it's totally worth my money. I don't know if that's what ended up happening, but he did buy back. I don't know how worth it was, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to 7.11 buybacks. You never know what you're going to get.
How do you feel about the changes that happened overall?
It's so these bi-weekly patches are great because they allow experimentation on like a more consistent basis. And so like whenever huge patches used to happen, I'm sure Ice Frog had intentions for certain things. He was just like, oh dude, what would happen if I added a comeback factor or like changed how experience works? But the problem is that there's so many other changes in that patch that like it's difficult to isolate a variable and be like, well, what really changed in the game?
Motor Smash, that hits on the right hero. That is the Tide Hunter, but they immediately kill off Kaka. BKB popped by the Monkey King, and immediately they have to retreat on the side of Newbie.
Ravage not spent. They have that available. Although Newbie do have a black hole available as well. They just bought a smoke. They just popped it. They want to fight this. You have to catch the Tide Hunter, though.
BKB, though, is only 6 seconds here for KP. They're going to try and find In July. Coming around the bend will be In July into the perfect spot. There's BKB into the black hole, but I don't know how long this is going to last. So with the balance strike hitting on a 3, Faith throws his as well. They'll take out Sakata, but now the Rabbit comes out on everybody on the side of Newbie except for Muyu. Pop that BKB, but Miracle with the Jingu Mastery is able to really get a little bit of his health back. They take out Dogfights as Triple C is gone. KP trying to get a kill on Miracle, who ends up dropping. By the way, track is stolen by this Rubik, so they get a little bit of track gold. And now they're looking over at the Tide Hunter. Boulder Smash lands, the stolen track, the gold goes their way, and they'll get the kill as they finally will clean him up. A little bit of taunting, and down he goes.
So Miracle was holding on to that Wukong's command for a little bit longer than I thought he would. He basically let the Death Prophet die in her entirety, and that was like a solo black hole pretty much. And so obviously you're not going to kill an Enigma from full HP if you just like use a Wukong's command and let your soldiers whack away at him. But at the minimum, you could at least discourage the Gyrocopter and the Earth Spirit and the Viper from coming nearer and finishing off that Death Prophet even faster. But Death Prophet died, and then once I guess it was communicated that Tide Hunter was like, it's okay, she died, we can still take this fight, then Miracle went in for the Wukong's command. But by that time, like, you know, one of your cores is gone. Gyrocopter still has his like plenty of time left on his BKB, so the Ravage didn't connect on him, even though it was a perfect position. He was still spell immune, and Viper is so tanky that it takes a Monkey King ages to burn through all that HP. So maybe a little bit optimistic trying to take that fight after your Death Prophet went down, but it could have been a little bit worse.
I feel like it was still pretty bad because Faith stole that track pretty early. And they netted like 6,000 net worth off that.
Stolen track is definitely an X factor.
And he still got it. And he's going to have it for 134 more seconds.
Yes, he will.
I mean, that's 2 minutes to really find these tracks, especially on dogfights. Like, if you track dogfights, there's the smoke. All right, there's the
and there's
dust,
the track.
And there's the track. So, dogfights... You can't be that mobile ward anymore.
They've still got to play defensive, although Enigma does have that cooldown reduction talent, and so the best part about this is that you and Tide Hunter are in sync now. Because normally, Enigma is like offset, and that little gap between Ravage being off cooldown and Black Hole usually being on cooldown is devastating for Enigma teams because, you know, immediately whenever Ravage is available, a team with Tidehunter will smoke up, and what are you going to do? You just have to sit there and take it if you're an Enigma team. Once you get that cooldown reduction talent, you're both in sync for every single team fight. Dust is popped, dogfights is clipped, but it's nighttime, they can't see them.
Let's take a look. Boulder Smash comes out. Telekinesis, that's going to be out on Cicada. Wow, the Ravage hits on 4, but they've got the BKB. That's going to be the Black Hole only on Cicada. They'll take out Faith. Now they look for more. On the back lines is Mugi with the BKB hitting on it in July, but Miracle, he's got the kill on Akaka. They look for anything else that they can grab on Newbie, but unfortunately they got to start to run as he's taken out by the Boundless Strike. That's going to be a triple kill for Miracle. They take out Dogfights, but they lose 4 in the process.
Now that's the quick reaction I was hoping to see in the previous fight. Basically the same thing happened, except this time IG Vitality had a little bit more heads-up notice. Cicada gets solo Black Hole yet again, except this time the Ravage came out first, but Miracle was like, it's okay. She can get Black Hole, I'm gonna Wukong's command right now. All 3 of these newbie heroes were on the edge of a kinetic field, and they just could not proceed any closer to that Black Hole. All got lined up for a Boundless Strike, got cleaved down with all this spread damage, and Monkey King just went to work, and might look like a 2-0 coming from IGV over Newbie.
Somebody in chat, please tell me the betting odds on that. Because they've been quite skewed. IG was just like 3.5 to 1 against their previous opponent, which was LFY, and they 2-0'd him. And IG have been looking really good. Whereas LFY, I mean, Inflame in that game, just he didn't play to his standard, for sure. And Inflame is normally an amazing offlaner. So Newbie now down 6,000 net worth. Do you extend this game? Is it even worth it at this point, or do you just try and fight until you can fight no longer? Or do you...
For Newbie, you mean?
Yeah. Like, what's your plan?
Well, at the minimum, no matter how much you want to fight, you have to do it around Black Hole. At this point, your BKBs are whittling down that you can't confidently think like, okay, let's just get a Black Hole and we can probably get in and get out before Ravage becomes a concern. No, in July is always going to be anywhere near someone who you want to kill. And he's got a Blink Dagger, he's got a Force Staff. Even if he's not nearby, he will come by very quickly. So at this point, Newbie just need a... Their most important thing is vision. And so Kaka immediately invested into a gem because even though dogfights hasn't been a huge concern, any little bit of information that IGV get is a huge setback for Newbie. And so they want to keep IGV as in the dark as possible, be it by discouraging Bounty Hunter or counter-warding everything. But at the end of the day, you're still linked to Black Hole, so it's all going to be on KP on what kind of initiation they can find.
That is stressful, but he picks the X, so if he could get a 2-3-man Black Hole, that would be really crucial, I feel like.
That would be great, but to an extent, I think like this Aghanims is even more for him getting these solo Black Holes over and over again, because Death Prophet has gotten so tanky now that the Black Hole alone doesn't kill her anymore. And so KP's going to keep going for these like pick-off Black Holes, because he knows that if he can just eliminate one target off the bat, then the rest of his team can go to work on the remainder of IGV's like other cores. And they have BKBs, or at least the Gyrocopter has a BKB, Viper has a BKB. They're going to be able to survive a Ravage. So if you can just immediately eliminate the threat of a Death Prophet without having to commit your full team to go real deep to join your Black Hole, and you just immediately snipe it out, is now a Radiant Scan. Everyone's going to meet.
Boulder Smash, Ravage, that's going to come on through with the DKBs. Pop by Mugi with a 2-man Black Hole. This is going to be with the Axe. Look at how quickly they take out these heroes. That's going to be Bounty Hunter hitting the deck, but look at Cicada. He's still alive as Miracle comes on in. He gets an Ultra Kill, looking for the Rampage, but Cicada, you slimy bastard, you take out the last hero, and you take away the nice big Ravage from Miracle. Could there ever be a Miracle team? They're both so great.
The Miracle on Ice, the Miracles on Ice. 2 buybacks. See, that fight would have been great 7,000 net worth ago, but they all survived with like a quarter HP. Death Prophet goes down, but being the slimy bastard that she is, she did end up killing off Faith. Faith buys back, which, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You're a support hero. buybacks don't really matter that much for you because it scales off of net worth, and Rubik is the second lowest net worth, so, you know, not that big of a deal. Gyrocopter, on the other hand, that hurts a lot, especially since he didn't get any kills, and especially since he doesn't really have anything to farm, because those are the two most important things. Now, if you can successfully contest Roche, that would be great.
Homing missile, telekinesis, that's going to be through, as well as the call down, that's going to be on the Roche pit. But Mugi, Faith, and Kaka, they back off just a bit, and now they stole in Shadow Walk, not Track. Well, let's take a look. They go into Roche. They're looking for the Aegis and Cheese. Ravage down for just about a minute. And they get into this pit. And there's the blink on forward to look to get Faith. There's the kinetic field. They'll get the kill on the Faith, but... or maybe even not. The stun is there on In July. There's the balance strike. They'll finally kill him off. The BKB is going to be popped around the horn from both of these teams. You take a look at Cicada. He's trying to go in on SCCC, who uses that Nether Toxin, laying it down on two of these heroes on the side of IG Vitality. The Motor Smash, that lands on Cicada. Now coming in is going to be the Tide Hunter Miracle. Where are you, my friend? You're backing off and just giving up the life of Cicada. Basically saying that the Death Prophet is going to make some space for us, but that is about it.
I think it's possible that IGV didn't know the cooldown on Black Hole. So Black Hole only just now came up like 2 seconds ago. But I think what they're basing it off of is like, what is Ravage's timing? So like I said, the two are almost in sync. Not quite, but it's very, very close. The problem is that Enigma's on the good side of being very close. So his cooldown is 136 seconds. Tidehunter's cooldown is 150 seconds. And so Ravage was still on cooldown, and they didn't know what KP was up to. They didn't see KP, they just know that he respawned immediately, and he hasn't shown himself yet. And so Miracle was standing on the edge the entire time because it's like, dude, I don't know if I can go in, because if I go in and they have Black Hole, then we just lose so much. But they lose the Aegis, they lose the Death Prophet, they pick off a Rubik, who it's technically a dieback, but doesn't really matter that much. And that's a pretty profitable buyback from Mugi. Like I said, initially he didn't get any kills, but if they could successfully contest Roche, that would be great. And not only do they contest it, but they take it. And Aegis goes the way of the Gyrocopter. The Refresher Shard is who? Where is
it? It was only the second Roche, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay, so Cheese goes the way of the Viper.
And Gyrocopter's threatening about building this Divine Rapier, which is very interesting to me because you usually do build that Satanic. It's a little bit greedy, in my opinion, to go for the Divine Rapier. And I know that they need to be able to have that damage to hold and even push. But without the Satanic, and I know you have the Aegis, it makes you very vulnerable to dropping it.
I think the idea is that Newbie's like, if we lose one more fight, this is game anyway. And so, like, how many lives do I need more than just an Aegis life? If the entire Aegis duration times out, then you probably won't see him finish this Rapier. It's just like a contingency plan, assuming, like, you know, if we have to fight in the next 4 minutes and I have enough gold for this Rapier, then I'm just going to go for it. But otherwise, yeah, chances are he's probably going to hold out for the Satanic once the Aegis times out.
Yeah, I don't think his farm is going to get there before the Aegis times out, in my opinion. Or it's going to be probably close enough where you maybe switch to the Satanic.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's definitely a possibility. It will be interesting to see that fight because his BKB is down to 6 seconds, so it's just not that long. And we see what IG Vitality can do, especially once your BKB is gone.
Namely, In July. We're going to see what In July can do once that BKB is whittled down, because Tidehunter has this, like, it's basically the definition of a power curve. So, like, you know, early game in laning, he's very dominant with Anchor Smash, and then he kind of falls off whenever carries get BKBs, especially if you aren't ahead, because, like, you don't have your initiation items like a Blink Dagger and whatnot. And then in late game situations, you're great again, because BKBs are super low, you may have enough farm for a Refresher, or maybe you've just taken the third Roche, you've got all these utility items that help you survive for ages, like Pipe, or whatever, Greaves. And so this BKB whittling down for Mugi and Viper is also down to like 8 seconds, which is not that bad, but still, it all adds up. And looks like IGV might fight into this. They're thinking about it, but they let the tower go.
The Relic was bought on Gyrocopter, so it looks like it's the full committal.
I like it. We've been seeing more of these game-ending Rapiers.
Oh, yeah.
For the dawn of time, it seemed like Rapier was just like a well, I'm gonna lose, I might as well YOLO. But more and more we're being like, dude, what if I just had like 300 more damage? Do you think we could end the game? And people are like, yeah, just do it.
It's mainly on the gyrocopter. You don't really see it on anybody else, but it's mainly the gyrocopter who picks up like that Satanic and the Divine Rapier, or in this case, just goes for the Divine Rapier.
Right.
Not many other heroes do that.
I think basically the Pantheon is like Ember Spirit, physical version, Medusa, which also isn't really seen that frequently, and Gyrocopter.
So he picks it up and he queues up the Satanic. They have the Aegis to get this time to farm. I almost feel like IGV are giving up a bit too much by sitting this far back. The Aegis expires, but at the same time, Gyrocopter, if he finishes off this Satanic, I'm scared for what happens to IGV.
Yeah, so the other beautiful thing about Divine Rapier is that it's a real psychological factor. Like, if you think about it, yes, the situation has kind of changed, but IGV's game plan is still the same. It's like, let's go for initiation. Let's not get black holed. And so, assuming that still goes to plan, then, like, who cares if Gyro has a Rapier? It's not a defensive item. It doesn't make him any tankier at all. He's still going to die just as quickly. But you have to think in the back of your head, you're like, what if we botch the initiation? What if KP ends up getting a black hole first? And so you play a little bit more apprehensively. They're not smoked up, but they're moving towards the dire half of the map right now. They don't have a gem on anyone. Oh, never mind. Injuly does have a gem on Tidehunter. And so they're creeping ever so slowly, but there is a Rapier on the field, and they're aware of it.
Are they? I don't know if they...
I think they just walked under
yeah,
it.
they probably did. With the creeps over the top. But,
Yeah.
I think they'd feel more comfortable fighting into this with 2 Ravages.
Correct.
And you're definitely going to have to wait for this refresher orb to come out if you're looking to be the aggressors, I'd say, for IGV. And then you take a look at the Monkey King, who's also got a Divine Rapier queued up. So this could be Divine Gaming from both of us.
All right. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, too. It makes me an excited little boy.
Dyer's bottom shrine
Middle
is
age.
under attack.
One of the best pickups, I think, is Cicada going for this Aeon disc.
You don't see that too often.
A black hole a black hole will last long enough to basically burn through the entire duration of the 2.5 second combo breaker, and you'll still probably be able to kill her. But that hard dispel will definitely help against other crowd control. So if she ends up getting caught out by like a telekinesis or boulder smash or something like that, then she'll be able to move out of that much more quickly.
Let's see, what's Gyrocopter at right now in terms of the Satanic? Getting, has enough for the Reaver, so he is 2,500 gold away from picking it up. And then you take a look at the Monkey King, who's 800 away from the Relic and 2,200, so he's 3,000 away from the Divine Rapier. So we'll take a look at what both teams are really willing to do at this point. As again, refresher
Wait
orb
for the
is what
third
they're
Roche.
Radiant's top tower
I think Shard is what both teams are waiting for. I mean, like, Orb definitely for IGV
Tide,
with
yeah.
Tidehunter, but I don't think either team is willing to take a fight until the third Roche is up. I think it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement. It's like, okay, we're both going to get, like, our rapiers and our top-tier items and whatnot, and then we're going to have a showdown. Although Newbie looks like they want to break this agreement.
My attempt at old cowboy music was bad.
I was like, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Oh,
Smoke's broken.
Bounty
They're going to
Hunter
find
taking the
themselves with
gank.
a Bounty Hunter into the kinetic field, but
Oh,
there's the Ravage.
they're
That comes out
going.
on through with the Static Storm. That's going to be laid down onto this
Holy.
Enigma. He's taken out of the game. 81 seconds, no buyback. Now they look over at Faith. They're getting themselves a second kill as Triple C forced to use that BKB. And now on the back lines, as we take a look at the Gyrocopter, but he's not going to be strong enough to survive. Sakata, who's got the disc, as well as dogfights coming in. Divine Rapier hits the deck. And it is on the side of IG Vitality. Kaka gets away. I'm pretty sure the... did Bounty Hunter pick that up? Where'd it go?
Come on,
It
man.
went to
I
the
pinged
Monkey
it out.
King.
I pinged
Did
it
you?
out.
I
Look at the
completely
chat.
missed it. Yeah, you did. Can't believe I was that blind. I was... It's the center of
Newbie
my
should have
screen,
respected
too.
the agreement. I was shocked that IGV went and took that fight, but namely it was just because they were like, dude, I see Enigma. I can see him right here. I can ravage him before he does a single thing, and then he just got straight shotted by a boundless strike from Monkey King, and it was curtains for KP.
Now you're dealing with a Monkey King Divine Rapier.
Not his.
Not his,
I think
but
he's even happier about that.
yeah. Gyrocopter ends up buying back. And Miracle, what's 21? 1+1 of the Wukong's command range.
Oh yeah, that was the main reason why they took it, because Miracle was way on the low ground. He was like, I know I don't have to be threatened by this gyrocopter because I'm just gonna basically team fight from 1,200 units away. Roshan is up now, and telling you Mugi did not buy back for giggles because he has a lot of net worth. In fact, I wonder, how much is Monkey King's buyback? What's the... Oh, he does have it. How much does it cost? What? It's only 2,700? That seems low.
Boulder onto the high ground. There's the wing to the low ground. There's the Ravage hitting on a couple of these heroes. And now you take a look at SCCC. Wow, look at that damage come out from Miracle. It's a double kill. They take out both this Earth Spirit as well as the Viper. There's the BKB. That's going to be popped. They look over at this Enigma. They take him out again. And Faith is going to get low. One more shot until he goes down. That's the Thunder Strike that takes him out. Super with the double kill. Only 2 are alive. Earth Spirit does have the buyback. And IG Vitality lose nothing. Balance Strike and 1 slap from the Monkey King is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, he has the 50% balance strike crit talent as well, which is just vicious when you've got this much damage.
So it's crazy how much this Aeon just does in terms of status resistance too. That passive 25%. Ooh, blink on forward. Now you take a look. I just can't. I can't get the words out quick enough. The balance strike hits on 2, completely cleans them up. Now you take a look over at SCCC. GG is going to be called, and they will 2-0 this. Let's see if they can at least get the kill there on SCCC. They will. Sakata gets it, and a 2-0 for IGV over Newbie. China's up in arms. Nobody knows what to make of this.
I'm going to my Weibo right now and making an angry post at newbie players for doing whatever that they do that Chinese players get mad at. I mean, more credit to IGV than anything else. The only real slip up, I think, is that maybe the psychological factor that I was talking about was more for me than it was for IGV, because they apparently were not intimidated by that rapier at all. And I think Newbie was banking on them feeling intimidated, because they were like, even if a support tanks the gank, let's just get a support kill and then maybe start looking towards Roche. And then Newbie walked into dogfights. Dogfights was like, hey, it's that guy with the rapier. And Injali was like, sweet, I see the guy with the black hole also. Let's take this fight. Miracle, Boundless Strike, 50% talent. Even pre-Divine Rapier is able to just slice KP open. And Newbie overplayed their hand with the rapier in hand.
And they end up dropping this series 2-0. Miracle, the MVP of not only this game, but the series. He was the MVP last game on the Morphling, 25-4-12. 37 of the 49 kills. I mean, that was absolutely disgusting, the performance he put on. As well as in July, 36 assists. That's crazy.
What a team player.
Involved in 40 of the 49 kills that IGV got. IG Vitality look really strong here. I know this is just DPL, and maybe it's not Newbie playing as serious. I want to say it is, and IG Vitality just took a 2-0 over Newbie at, I think what I saw in chat was 9-1 odds. So, IGV all of a sudden shaking up the Chinese scene, shaking up the Chinese region. I'm expecting the Reddit post that says that Newbie should disband or something like that. As
I don't think this is like an OG Moriarty kind of situation or anything like that. But
they lost to Moriarty. OG should disband. It's like not everybody has their day every single day of the week, like Newbie and Liquid do at most points.
And then OG proceeded to 2-0 Moriarty later on, but you don't see any posts about that. But yeah, they looked a lot better than I would have given them credit for, with Miracle being a recent addition to the team. I definitely would not have expected him to come out looking like an MVP in both games, but as you said, overall throughout the series, and I'm a huge guy who like jerks over 4 and 5 players being MVPs, but that was well deserved from Miracle in both games. Great early rotations in this game, didn't fall behind significantly. Obviously, a lot of that was credit to dogfights with the track kills and whatnot, but still, like, it didn't seem like there was that big of a language barrier or anything like that. They played together like a team, and Monkey King is the kind of hero that needs communication. And despite a few slip-ups here and there, like that one time in the Dire Jungle where he went in but Angelite didn't, and some other random situations where he was off on his own, when it came to crunch time late game situations, they played extremely well.
Yeah, and IG Vitality, they take the series 2-0. By the way, somebody clip that Tsunami line that he says he jerks it to 4 and 5s.
Oh, it's well known.
I want it to be my donation sound or something, or my follower sound for sure. But that's it for the day. It was a long, almost 9 hours of casting for myself. You joined me for the last game. It was great. A lot easier to have a co-caster, and it felt so fluid. IG Vitality take the series 2-0. That's going to be it for me today. I won't be back tomorrow. I know the next day is the 18th, which I can't cover, but I'll be back on the 20th to give you more DPL action. It's that sweet DPL action. And signing off myself, I'm BCop at BCop92 on Twitter, and signing off for my co-caster Tsunami at Tsunami643. Find us on Twitter when you can, and follow us to know when we're casting. We'll be back in a couple of days. Thank you guys so much for joining me all these 9 hours, and yeah, we'll leave you with that and a little bit of that chill hop beat music stuff that the kids are talking about.
It's actually back up, as that's a catch and undying. Soul Rip. Nope, Fiend's Grip locking him down. That'll secure the kill. All right, so they find Undying. He's dead for 50. And look at the shapeshift form. The whole army running after Keizu. He's a little too slippery, though. Has a heals himself with a blink, a burrow strike, sandstorm. It's good luck catching up him. Almost feels like Puck this game. Level 15 liking, has that 12% cooldown reduction now. Terrorblade Illusions, keeping the enemy team guessing as well as what's going on. Terrorblade, the 20 move speed, 300 life. As far as his talents are concerned, Death Prophet, 50 damage, 150 cast range. All typical stuff here, I think is safe to say. Tinker does have the Axe finish, 1600 more gold saved up. Move speed and the cast range for him.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
So that was a very quick Roshan spawn, wow. That was probably the quickest Roshan spawn he could have almost. So and they know what's up, but looks like Mad Lance is gonna. They're hoping for a pick. They're hoping for a pick right there. They're not gonna get it with that smoke. So instead they go back for Roshan. Will they commit Exorcism for it is the question.
Dire's top
I mean, I think it's worth it for sure. There is a wolf there. It's gonna wear off though. It's gonna die even. So Moriarty's just sitting in their base. They're almost waiting for the inevitable Roshan attempt.
Dire's top shrine
That's gonna happen.
has fallen.
The top shrine going down. Meanwhile, Moriarty, they're not smoked up, but they are starting to move out a little bit. Ooh, Tidehunter has an axe queued up. Interesting. AoE Gush. Sounds potentially pretty strong, actually. we go, though. Roshan. They are going to commit the Exorcism. Terrorblade still has a Metamorphosis as well. Dire side, this is risky, man. If they can jump in with a big Ravage, though, who knows? Blink's going in here. There is that big Ravage. His multiple heroes quick fight. Got the BKB off, though, in response. Silence comes out. Roshan is still alive at the time being. Metamorphosis form going to be activated. Fiend's Grip locking out Death Prophet in the meantime. The Aegis is snatched by Blink right there. He ends up dying, but he's going to come right back up. We'll see what he can do. Tusk is going to get picked off, though. Casey with the epicenter. Madara jumping forward with that Terrorblade. Looking to run down Khan now. You see Terrorblade picking up the Blink, by the way. 6 more seconds going to be coming off Golan. Doesn't even need it, though. Lycan gets caught up, too. He's dead for 56 seconds. No buyback. Tinker gets caught by the heels as well on the outskirts. Good catch by Keizu. And he's dead for 60 seconds. So the Aegis was snatched, but the big picture still looking very good for the Radiant side. Tidehunter, he got out of there after the fact. Cheese was picked up by Terrorblade, though. And, of course, they're going to push with this. There's the double buyback. Lycan is not ready for 37 seconds. No buyback for him. Metamorphosis form, it's going to be wearing off here in a second. So that could be the saving grace for the Dire side. In fact, there you go. Buryu, Soul Rip to heal himself and continue to run. So the Tier 3 tower is even going to live because of that. So yeah, thankfully for Moriarty, that Metamorphosis was wearing off and no Exorcism as well either. Illusion. So they saved their base, but it did also require a couple of buybacks. Which, again, you figure on Tinker was probably pretty expensive. Again, that goes back to that change that just happened yesterday. Just to clarify, so there's actually a really cool graph on Reddit where it gives you a good idea of what to expect with the change. It took a match from the recent PGL Bucharest Major of Virtus Pro and gave you a comparison of what it actually was for their buybacks in that game with the patch and then what it would be with the new patch. And essentially, it's if you're a core with a lot of farm, with decent farm, then it's going to be more than it was before. But if you're a support hero, somebody like this Bane here, who's under farmed quite a bit, it's basically nothing. It's really cheap. So it's definitely I think it's safe to say it's overall a nerf because the cores are the ones that you're more reliant on buyback anyways. But good pick on a Dazzle though. By the way, when Aether wins, this is priority item here. Interesting. Lycan almost finished with his own BKB. Sure, that'll be nice to have, but it just doesn't feel like it's as strong as it is on the Radiant side. That's for sure. Because Terrorblade's still going to be able to shred through that. Of course, the Exorcism's still going through it as well. Bane is, by the way, caught. Buryu activating the Flesh Golem even. All right, well, he's living. Come on, guys. There you go. Flash doing his best Houdini attempt. Buyback on Bane. And not much gold to do so in his case. There we go with that Metamorphosis, though. Beating down the Tier 3 fortification, eventually wearing off, goes down. Tusk doing what he can to distract and eventually goes down himself. He's dead for a minute. Meanwhile, top lane also being pushed by the Exorcism. So that's where the team, I was wondering where Moriarty was. They're trying to defend top during this, but the middle's melting away. They do kill Dazzle and dying. He still has the Sunder, by the way, and a BKB even. Now they just use, yeah, there's the BKB. Manta's also coming up. He's running down Khan. Khan's going to be caught up to 70 seconds. No buyback. This blink on Madara definitely is doing work. It's the second time we've seen it to catch up to the Lycan and finish the job. Fiend's Grip on Death Prophet. Exorcism has been worn off. He has a pipe, though. Can use it right here. Turning on a Bane. Bane's dead. GG's are called. It's official. Mad Lads is moving on. They'll take on Going in a later best-of-3 series today. As far as Moriarty goes, their journey has come to an end here for the MDL European qualifiers. Overall, I think that they definitely have to be fairly pleased. This is an open qualifier team that, you know, sure they get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, but the fact that they defeated OG in the first place and, you know, even going the distance against Singularity, like, this is a team that we now know a little bit more about, and that's all you could really ask for with a team coming out of the open qualifiers, frankly, that we didn't know much of. So, you know, hopefully for their sake, you know, I'm sure understandable, not the happiest right now, but in high spirits eventually, and keep the grind going. That is the Dota 2 in the season here. So looking forward to seeing several of these players more. Again, they definitely had some standouts and a team that I would not mind casting again. But on the other side, again, Mad Lads, definitely a roster of much more known players and ultimately get the victory in a 2-0 series win. But especially that first game, I mean, that definitely could have been anyone's game. Game number 2, a little bit different of a story. Pretty good control from the beginning for Mad Lads, and they did not look back. So, again, they take it 2-0 and advance on to the next round of play going in, which will be, like I said, later on today. It'll be the final series of the day. But we are going to be taking a break here. What time is it? It's 11. So now how this tournament has been working, they've been doing a pretty good job at keeping the schedule going well. So obviously this is a 2-0, so default time is not another hour and a half, I want to say, until the next series is supposed to start. But from the history of this event, I'm going to assume that we're going to try to start in the next at least half hour or so. I'll get an update for you guys. That next series, by the way, it will be the other first-round matchup, Swiss Quality Gaming versus Double Dimension. So Swiss Quality Gaming, again, the other open qualifier team, made up of several players, frankly, don't know much about. They're going up against Double Dimension, and similar to this series, where you got one team we just don't really know much about, another team where they got some big-name players. Double Dimension, you're looking at Dityarok, Excalibur, Mag, Milan, and J4. So should be a fun one there as well in that best of 3. And like I said, that should be coming up shortly. In fact, as I'm looking now, the lobby just got hosted. So, and according to the admin, he's asking for us to be there within the next 15 minutes. So there you go. Hopefully in about 20 minutes or so, we should be getting started with Game 1 of that series. Again, guys, I was Breaky CPK, your host. Stay tuned. Short break. We'll be coming right back with our next series here. Swiss Quality Gaming versus Double Dimension. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. guys, welcome back. For those that are hanging out and waiting for the next match to start, just it's just an update for you guys. We've been in the lobby now for a little bit. One of the teams has actually been here for a while. The other team, nobody's here though currently. So again, it's obviously I'm sure they're going to show up. It's just a matter of when exactly. So with the first series ending a little bit sooner than maybe expected, this one. Ideally, will be started in the near future, but obviously completely dependent on the other team showing up. The default time is still another hour from now, so technically have until then. But hopefully we'll get things going here sooner than later. So again, I'll keep you guys updated at the very least. Stay tuned, guys. More MDL European coverage action coming at you.